Hello, 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 hello. Come and join me. I'm going live in Facebook and I'm excited and welcoming you to my 1 o'clock live. My name is Dion Johnson, and as you are joining, please do say hello so that I can know that I'm not here by myself and I can say hi to you personally. Hello, 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 hello. Come on in and join me. I'm going to give you a few minutes to just come and be with me. Hi, Danielle. Thank you so much for joining. Early in the morning there where you are. I'm really delighted to have you with me. As you are joining, please say hi in the box so that I can know that you're here. And if you're watching on the replay, then go ahead and say hi anyway. It's really good that people are commenting in the video chat box after the live event. So I'm really pleased to have you, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to get dived into today's 1 o'clock live. Yesterday, I was speaking to you about the model, the model called the logical levels of change. We were talking about changing from higher up the ladder, so changing from the place of who you are and your right to make that change and your reason and your purpose for making change. And today I want to build on that a little bit, and I want to talk about the biggest mistake, one of the single most biggest mistake that you can make if you are ready to up your influence and to play a bigger game in your leadership and your life even. So as you're joining, remember, as you're joining, put your name in the box so I can see that you're here. My name's Dion Johnson. I'm the founder at Women Leader Global and your strategic ally. If you are a woman in senior leadership in the private sector, in the public sector, sorry, or in the third sector. So I'm a strategic ally, and my work is all about helping you to be more influential in your role. And as part of that work, I get to see women in senior leadership doing great things and making some mistakes. And let me start again, because before I go into today's message, what I really want to say to you is I want to really share with you who I'm talking to. Hi Kemi, thanks for joining. I really want to connect with you if you are a woman in senior leadership, because you see, oftentimes, hi Julia, thanks for coming. Oftentimes it's a lonely place leading at the top, isn't it? And there aren't many people that get to know what it's really like for you. So I wanted to let you know that these Facebook lives, these 1 o'clock lives, are for you if you are a woman in third sector or public sector senior leadership. And you have to admit to yourself that you've stopped growing. You have to admit that despite your undeniable achievements and your accomplishments and your accolades, you've taken the foot off the gas when it comes to challenging yourself to be more, to grow, to advance as a woman and a leader and a change maker. And I'm guessing you're watching this because you're coming to a realization that actually, do you know what, it's time for me to be more. You know that there's more for you to do, for you to be, for you to say, for you to create, for you to express from your place in senior leadership in your organization and your industry. So I'm excited about having you here. And let me tell you, it's exciting that you're waking up to this need to reignite your leadership, because we really need what you have to bring. We really need your ideas and your insights and your hunches and your creativity and your gifts and your talents to make the outcomes of the third sector and the outcomes of the public sector better at such a time as this. So today, I want to share with you one of the mistakes that I've been seeing people who are ready to start to up their game, ready to up their leadership making. And it's been inspired by a woman that I spoke to last week. She's a senior leader in the third sector. She's doing really great work, but she knows that she's fallen off the ball when it comes to her own development because she's bored, she's underwhelmed. She's underwhelmed in her role, and she's got this feeling that there's more for her to be. So we arranged to have our initial consultation, and she wrote me an email saying, Dion, she wrote me a mail on social media saying, Dion, I want to send you my CV. So can you please give me your email address? And I said to her, I don't need your CV, because what we're going to be looking at is not really dependent on where you've been, it's dependent on where you're going. And it's really pointing to the mistake that I see us making, in that we employ the same strategy that it took to get here. We want to employ that same strategy to get there. We want to use the same tactics and tricks and strategies that we use to get to this place in our leadership, this place in our organization, this place in our industry, to as the game plan, as the strategy for moving to where we're desiring to get to. And that's a big mistake. And let me tell you why. Because we're playing a new game. There's a difference between here and there. And I want to share with you today some of the distinctions between here and there. You see, here is, I'm calling it today, the old game. And where we want to get to, I'm suggesting, is a new game. The old game, I've got some notes here, so if you see me looking down, don't worry about that. The old game is really prioritizing your professionalism, right? The old game is about doing the job that they've asked you to do. And the new game is about prioritizing purpose. Remember yesterday we talked about the top of the pyramid? The new game that you're longing for inside, the new game that you're itching to, you know that there's something different that you're looking for. Well, it's a new game, and it prioritizes purpose, your purpose. The old game is about doing the job. The new game is about finding your work. Think about that for a minute. There's a difference between doing the job and finding the work that you were born to do, the work that you're in that position to do. And often they're very different. So there's a job that they expect to be done, and then there is the work that you were born to do. And I'm suggesting that this new level that you're hankering after is rooted in your purpose, the work that you were born to do. Another distinction is that the old game is about fitting in. It's about blending in. It's about playing the expected game. It's about getting involved, getting in the in crowd, being recognized, being applauded, being celebrated because people like you. Fit in. You fit the culture. And this new game is about being different, bringing your difference, standing out, putting your head above the parapet. Think about that. The old game is about doing what's expected to get what you want. So you go to work, you turn up at this time, you do what they say, you act like they want you to act, you dress like they want you to dress, you do what, you say what they want you to say, you nod when they want you to nod. The new game is about bringing the truth of who you are, your unique, valuable insights, your unique, valuable experiences, the things that you have that can inspire the greater good. So the old game is about complying so that you get paid, that you get recognition, that you get access to the in crowd, that you get accolades, and everybody sees that you're doing a great job. And the new game is about the greater good, about being different, using your insights, your ideas, your experiences for the greater good. And sometimes that's about challenging the status quo, right? So the old game is a public game. It's about being seen to be the woman for the job. And the new game is a private game. It's not public at all. It's private. It's an inner game. In fact, influence is an inner game. It's about is about bringing out what's inside. It's working on the inside of you. In order to get that rise and the elevation that you're longing for, it's about working on the inside of you. It's an inner game. So the old game is an outer game. This new game that you're being asked to answer the call to is an inner game. It's an inner development. It's a place where inside of you, you work out who you are and what you're about. Now, there are some rules that govern this new game that are hugely different to the old game. And I'm going to talk about those. Now, let me talk about them now. I was going to talk about them tomorrow, but I'm going to talk about them now. Let me see if there's anybody watching. So, yes, Kemi, taking your foot off the pedal. Bring the truth of who you are, Danielle. Yeah. Well done, you're getting this. Thank you. So there are 4 rules that really govern this new game that you're being called to play. And the first one is consciousness. Consciousness. This new game, in the old game, is really all about logic and intellect, and this new game is about consciousness. It's about waking up to things that are invisible, waking up to things that you haven't noticed yet, waking up to the truth of who you are. It's about waking up to what you haven't seen, what's become invisible. The way I like to think about this is, if you've had a picture hanging up on the wall for a long time, when it's new, every time you walk into that room, you see the picture, like it really catches your attention. You're awake to it. You walk and you notice it, right? But you see, when that picture's been there a while, after a while, you forget it's there. So even though it's really right in front of you, it's invisible. You don't see it. Well, this new game is requiring you to become conscious of some of the things that you stopped seeing. Become conscious of some of the things that you're not seeing about your mission, some of the things that you're not seeing about your outcomes, some of the things that you're not seeing about you and the way that you're being, who you're being in your role. So this new game is requiring a new level of consciousness. The second rule that governs this new game is the rule of commitment. It's a rule that requires you to be committed to yourself and to radical self-awareness. It's a commitment that requires you to commit to deep honor and respect for other people. And it's a game that was requiring you to be the builder of the bridge between who you are, what you do, and the biggest problems, the mission of the organization, the industry, the sector, and the field. This new game is requiring a new level of commitment, a whole new game of commitment. And we'll talk more about that in another video because that's really powerful. The third rule is the rule of command. The rule of command. So you're being called to command your authority, command respect. It's about your presence. It's about upping your identity, your ownership of your call to have dominion, to rule, to reign, to have authority. So we as women have to really, in this new game, get with that program. We have to really understand what it means to be a woman in power, a woman of authority. And there are so many warped views about what that looks like and what that means. Oftentimes, in our culture, it can look like tyrant or aggressor or having dominion over. Well, this new game is asking you to think about what it means to have dominion and command of your authority for the greater good. And again, we'll talk about that some more as we go forward. So the fourth rule that governs this new game is courage. Courage. Because you see, here's the thing, this new game is requiring you to challenge the status quo. It's challenging you to do your work for real, the work that you were born to do, the work that is about overseeing operations and challenging systems that create less than good results. So it is about courage to make those changes, courage to speak up, courage to show up as the real you. in effect, this new game is really about self-actualization. You know, Maslow talked about the different hierarchies of needs, and at the top of his little triangle is about self-actualization. This new game that you are feeling this call towards, that's calling you up higher in your influence, is really asking you to think about who you are and what you're there to do. We spoke about this yesterday. It's about self-actualization as the initiator and the innovator and the influencer of change in your part of the world, in your organization, in your industry, in your field. And I really want you to think about that. I really want you to think about, what would this new game look like for you? And what does it look like when you are less prioritizing the professional look and feel and approach to your work, and being more about what it is that your heart desires for the people that you serve, what it is about really challenging your organization and your industry to do better. You know, someone once said that the biggest room on the planet is the room for improvement. I believe that this new game that you're being called to, this higher level of influence that you are being called to, that you can feel beckoning you, is asking you to make the room for improvement smaller. Make the room for improvement smaller. So I wonder if you've got any questions about that. I'm really passionate about you understanding that this disturbance that you're feeling on the inside to play a bigger game, to step up, is not for your detriment. It really is a new game, yes, but it's worth playing. So I want you to come and join me on these 1 o'clock lives, because I'll be breaking it down. I'll be sharing stories and strategies that make this transition to this new game a smoother, more elegant transition, and one that you don't feel unsupported in. I think that's just about it for today. Let me see if there are any comments. Taking your foot off the gas. Thank you all for scribing what you're getting from this in the notes, because it really helps to see that that this is coming across okay, and that you're getting something from it. Think about, and probably put in the box, and I'll read your comments later, you know, what do you think about this new game? Is it resonating? Do you understand what I'm talking about when I say that there's a new game to play, and that the old way has gotten us to here, but it can't get us to there, where we're making a real difference, in the kind of difference that isn't being made right now because you aren't making it. All right, see you later.